Deadpool core or Deadpool team up number one, utter trash, just awful.
Speaking of comics,
Yes.
we have another mail call here. It's from us. We disagree. You were a huge fan of Transformers 12.
I'm a yes.
You told me about it. You told us about it weeks ahead of time because you got the PDF.
Yes.
And then I read it, and I'm like, it's not as good as you say it is.
Yes. You Void CD Rival reviewed it and somewhat kicked it in the nuts. And
honestly, it's the whole arc.
the whole arc?
What? Get the fuck.
It's half of the arc.
Fuck you and your dog.
Because here, so
I do not subscribe to hating dogs.
I don't. I love dogs.
yeah, the whole arc I don't think worked as well as the first, and I'm saying it's Corona and almost said Heron because of a prior conversation. Johnson. Corona and Johnson, I don't think work as well as they do with other collaborators. Or I don't know that I've read anything from Johnson and a collaborator. But I'm saying Johnson by himself in Arc 1 is better than all of Arc 2.
Are you holding it against Carrera or Corona? Whatever. Oh my God. Corona, that he's not Daniel Warren Johnson artistically, and he is drawing things that you can picture in your head that would have been cooler that if Daniel Warren Johnson.
Some of the fights, maybe.
Better choreographed?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Because the wrestling moves in the first arc are great. And some of the fights are one of my problems with the second arc. It's not entirely clear sometimes.
See, you mentioned that, and I found it totally clear. I would argue that the first arc has better artwork, because I like Daniel Warren Johnson slightly better.
Okay.
But I like the story better in the second arc.
Here's some of the stuff I like better. So Astro Train, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Beachcomber.
Yeah.
Magnets.
Yeah.
Because one of my major long-term, decades-long complaints is Transformers do not act like veterans of a millions-year-long war. They're just like random characters.
Oh, yeah.
But now we've got some actual PTSD, we've got some avoidance, we've got Alita 1 acting nuts and like talking shit to Optimus about you abandoned us, and I'm like, all of this is great.
Yeah.
Magnus is like, oops, I thought I was ready. This is great stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Everything Astro Train, loving it. I never cared that much about Astro Train, but like,
oh man,
he's such a nutbag. Shockwave is amazing.
Shockwave, yes.
Shockwave, and specifically the scenes with Soundwave, phenomenal.
Oh, so good. So like you've left like 3 pages out of 6 issues. Didn't like Carly. Humans suck.
I don't like Carly that much.
You're not supposed to. She's a human. It's called Transformers.
And like, RC's kind of racist against humans, and I'm like, this is weird, but all right, I'll go with it.
But why wouldn't she be racist against you? All the Decepticons are like, you guys are super inferior, and RC's like, yeah, you kind of are. She slowly has a character arc where she turns around. Optimus Prime does the meme where he shoots Megatron and the movie ends. He literally goes, spoilers, and shoots Shockwave 2 seconds into his villain speech and blows his arm off.
It was great.
That was awesome.
And then gouges out his eye.
And
tries to choke him, which is weird.
Because he has Spike's dad in him. And it's clearly messing with him because he has a flashback of baby Spike.
Right.
So you know that Optimus Prime is not fully Optimus Prime. It's very clearly visually.
So that's something that you brought up in the comment.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring that up as well. Because like, it's clear. That entire thing is clear. And I wish it progressed more in this 6 issues since it happened. But like, it's still just flashes once per issue, and I'm like, go somewhere with this plot line.
He's got 24 issues, and everyone will be crazy. He's not only 24. Like, name a writer that's been on a book for 24 issues, period.
Remender.
There are 500 new comics a week. You named 2 writers. Anyway.
You didn't ask for a lot. You asked for one. We each gave you one. You got one more than you were supposed to.
Your sample size says that most writers, Mark Wade, 3. There you go. We all got one. Sample size. Anyway. I thought it was a brilliant issue. I can see if you were confused or like care that Cliff Jumper isn't like the big panel is them fighting and the little panel is him flicking away Cliff Jumper. I
think it's 4 panels from kick to impact.
But he's kicked
because it's portal.
Yeah, but he's kicked through the portal and then they show the other guys on the other side and then he comes through and crashing.
Right. And I think that's collaboration clash.
Could be. Do you have the same problems with him on Ain't No Grave?
I don't have a problem with him working with Scotty Young. I've never had a problem.
Okay.
So it's Ain't No Grave. It wasn't Twig. That wasn't him, I don't think.
No, he did
Me You Love in the Dark.
Me You Love in the Dark and the kid one. With
Middle West. Who loves Middle West?
That was also Scotty Young, right?
Read Middle West.
Yes. Right? That was Scotty Young?
Yes.
And
that's 18 issues. It's not 24.
Yeah, and he also did Big Trouble in Little China Old Man Jack.
I didn't read it, but maybe I should.
He drew that, and I'm like, I wish this guy would draw more stuff because he's so him. He's in that Danny Warren Johnson, Scott Hepburn, James Warren group of, I don't know what style. We should have a discussion on art styles. Anyway, I thought it was a brilliant issue. It was the first issue that I could easily say there's nothing nostalgic warping my view on this issue because it is Optimus Prime not acting like Optimus Prime. Alita 1, like the first
entirely different version of Alita 1 this entire arc, and I'm perfectly happy with it.
Alita, like I can't remember another time, like some in IDW, but like an Autobot actively saying, no, you suck, Optimus Prime, you're wrong, fuck you. Like, what? Brilliant.
It's good stuff.
The fact that there's a chunk of Cybertron outside of Earth now.
See, that's what I found weird, specifically in that issue, is the Earth versus Cybertron bridge stuff. I'm like, who's where now? What's happening? But it made more sense the second read through, so maybe it's just I shouldn't read comics in the store before I go home.
Could be. I was just surprised you didn't like it as much.
I think the Combaticons are underused.
Oh, I thought they were going to.
But like the previous
I think one of them still cut in half.
Yeah, the previous 11 issues you were very high on, and then 12, like it peaked for me at 12, and you're like, no. And I was just like, oh, okay.
It's the whole arc, so maybe I did not convey my feelings on the second arc well enough on a monthly basis up until this point, but it was not a great week for comics, for me specifically.
I would agree. Spider-Man Reign.
Ugh.
We could talk about it, but we can't spoil it.
It's still good Transformers. I'm just saying.
You want it better?
Jason Howard is up next. I'm a long-term fan of Jason Howard.
It's only 2 issues. I wonder if it's a 2-issue arc and he's doing 6 issues.
I don't know, but it's Starscream, and I wish Starscream were just dead in the volcano.
But this is pre-volcano Starscream.
I know. It's like, fingers crossed. Stay dead, Starscream.
I do agree with that none of the Decepticons going, hey, where'd you get that arm? Like, once you said it, I'm like, at least somebody would have said something. But Swindle was not there to say anything.
The the Optimus Shockwave fight, I think, goes a long way towards making that a wonderful issue.
Yeah.
All that, but like every scene with Shockwave is great.
I love the Alita one stuff.
I just don't know what the point of him blowing up the Energon was. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes. Because in his mind, the Decepticons have taken over Cybertron.
I think they have.
Very clearly. She's thinking, I can use this for the Autobots. He's thinking that this is Soundwave's Stockhold. They're going to use all the Energon. He's clearly not thinking straight because, he hasn't gone back to his regular arm, or at least taken the cannon off. He still could be infected by Megatron. He's clearly
some body parts situation.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know how Transformers work. Like, they have what's his name in Teletran 1 still, and like,
oh, that's great.
They couldn't get Teletran 1 to work because parts of the I can't remember who he is.
I can't remember how
they
they tricked him into helping, and it was great.
Yeah. So, but he's clearly infected by Spike's dad. So he's not acting like Optimus Prime. Like, he's not the Optimus Prime who stepped on a deer. He's Optimus Prime who's like, I choose Earth. And you're like, why would you choose Earth unless you're being infected by Spike's dad?
Maybe that's it.
And he doesn't want the Decepticons to have the Energon. He does not go, oh, the energy will return to the nice Earth animals. No. I can't believe you said that out loud and didn't just... Like, if I could edit that video, I would put up he doesn't mean that, he's drinking sign or something like that. That is the hot take. Optimus Prime's moron. Like, he's never seen Energon explode. But yeah, I think that was my thought. Like, it never even occurred to me. And then you said your stuff, and I'm like, okay. What is he? What? And the fact that you had to read it twice, I'm like, what? What? I would read it twice just because it was awesome, not because I didn't understand. Like, the only thing I might have a question about now is did Cliffjumper come back with him, or is Cliffjumper atomized? Because it's Prime and Beachcomber. Cliffjumper's not with him.
But on the Cybertron that's now falling to Earth?
Or the Cybertron that went back? No, we don't know. We don't know. That's why
where's Jetfire?
Read issue 14. No, wait, 15.
He'll show up in... I know he's in the preview for 13.
Well, that's because he's alive.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there you go. What a dumb episode. I love it. But yeah, I thought it was great. I hope they're the team that finishes, or Daniel Warren Johnson just draws the last 6 or 12, 8. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm on board for Jason Howard.
Yeah. He which guy is he? Because
he did Trees with Ellis.
But is he the Trees with Ellis guy, the Astounding Wolfman guy? Or is he Capes guy? Or is that all the same guy?
There's 2 Howards. There's Jason Howard, and there's a different Howard that the newsletter confused a couple of years ago. He's the Astounding Wolfman.
Okay.
But he's
not the Capes guy then.
No, that's Zach Howard.
Yes.
Not the Capes guy.
Okay.
But he also did, I think it was also with Ellis, this military guy crash lands on Mars, and then he meets up with this chick, and they need to get off, and that was a great series.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea what that was called.
Oh my god,
it's 5 issues.
One of those Warren Ellis books, like Inject.
Cemetery Beach.
Yes,
Cemetery Beach. Are you looking it up right now?
Wow.
Can we fact check that he's not? Fact check the fact check.
Yeah, Cemetery Beach.
Ah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I know I like both Howards. I always confuse them.
Totally different styles.
Yes.
Wild Blue Yonder was Zach Howard.
Yes. There you go. That's how good I am at my job. I don't know. Howard, didn't he write Howard Porter, True JLA. There you go. With
Howard Porter's also good. Very different Howard.
Howard be thy name.
So Transformers.
Transformers.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I highly recommend getting all of them from your local comic store, wherever that may be.
Of course.
GrahamCrackers.com.
13 locations.
13 locations. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.
Is there any comics you would like to see us discuss?
Would you like us to discuss the art style and why we like it? Can we show Wilson what a good comic is? Can we get a shot of that on camera?
What, my reaction?
Yeah. It's the same reaction every time I say it. It's so good. It warms my heart.
What was it Yarmo said? You like the worst of every...
I don't know.
You like the worst of each franchise.
I'm going to go buy Spawn now. So
I like Jaws 4. It's the best.
It's not the best, but it was the best sequel.